What's up YouTube? My name is Jacob. Welcome to 911%, the channel where I bring you guys along on my many random adventures with my first Porsche, this 1997 Carrera 4S. And on this channel I post regular videos every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, everything from driving to events, even a few technically oriented videos as well. So if that's something that interests you, hit that subscribe button and follow along on a regular basis. Today I'm at my local Porsche dealership out here in Oakville. I got word that they got their first 911T in stock, so I thought it'd be cool to show it to you guys, but also build my very own dream spec 911T. Let's check it out. So before jumping in, let's quickly talk about the 911T. This is a throwback to the 911T of 1968. It's a model that is marketed towards the purist 911 fan, someone who is interested in driving or tracking the car more so than collecting it. This 911 is a lightweight track weapon. It's literally the purest 911 available. So Porsche offers this car in rear-wheel drive only with 370 horsepower. If you guys are looking for actual specs, check out the Porsche website or Google the specs. What's cool about this specifically is that it's essentially Porsche's exercise in less is more. It's a lightweight 911, almost a throwback to the lightweight 964 cars that a handful existed back in the 90s. But yeah, let's check it out in greater detail. So this car is equipped with the Porsche carbon ceramic brakes. You can see the huge yellow calipers that have been matched with some of the accents on the inside. This one also has the standard 20-inch satin wheels. Also, Tequipment roof rack. The gentleman who's driving this car is an avid road bike enthusiast. So of course, you know, it's important for him to be able to carry his equipment. Right off the bat, you'll notice that the exhaust pipes, also the badging, have been given the black sport treatment. So this is an option on all the other models, and the T, it's standard. Just a kick-ass spec. I think they did it so right. So let's check it out inside. So this particular car has been equipped with the carbon fiber buckets. Actually, when you order this car in Canada with carbon buckets, I believe this is like that for the rest of the world, you get a rear seat delete, so there's no seats back here, which is pretty interesting. The car can be ordered with all other seat configurations with a rear seat, but this particular one has the carbon buckets and it just looks absolutely amazing. Another exclusive manufacturer piece is this unfiltered truth insignia on the door panels. It's a nice touch. I've seen these on other cars before. It's super cool. You can pretty much have it say whatever you want. I've seen a Kills Bugs Fast one. It's also illuminated, which is a nice touch. It also has a sports steering wheel. This particular one is equipped with a 7-speed manual. They do obviously come with a PDK. I think if these cars were tracked, you'd probably want a PDK in here. Just the fact that it has the availability of a manual, I think is going to appeal to a lot of people. So getting into these seats are actually kind of funny, so let's do this together. I'm just going to get in right now, and I'm going to try to hold the camera and get inside, and you guys can see. Oh, it's crazy. I'm like a young guy, and I feel like I'm 100 getting into this car. I fit pretty well into this. That's a good thing. But now I'm going to get out so you can see how unattractive that is. Okay, here we go. Oh, so you got to lift. I'm going to lift your leg. Oh my God. And then get out. It's a little challenging, I won't lie, but super worth it, so cool. So the thing with the 911T is, depending on your chosen accent color on the inside, I think you have 3 choices between silver, yellow, and red. But all the stitching that you guys see here is 911T. Also, these door pulls have made it from the GT cars, because that's essentially what this car is. It's like a 911 that has carried over some of the really cool features, and I'll talk about that a little bit in greater detail, but just to give you guys an idea of what the car looks like. So obviously, clad with Alcantara everywhere. This car also comes equipped with a whole bunch of amazing sport features. So some of the things that made it over from the GT cars, stuff like the torque vectoring system, also an optional 4-wheel steering, advanced limited slip differential, the sport exhaust. So you can really option this car out to be a true track weapon for your DE days. Did I mention this car has lightweight glass? It's actually the side windows, rear quarters, and the back windows actually been taken from a GT2 RS, which is super cool, and really makes this car a true lightweight. And just to show you guys some of these buttons here, so this is the PASM. So this selects your dampening of the suspension. You can harden it or soften it. Your traction control on and off. You've got a power spoiler up and down. This is the Porsche Sport Exhaust button. This is one of my favorite features on modern day Porsches. I think, with turbocharging and all that kind of stuff, this really livens up the cars and the sound and the drama of everything, so super cool. Automatic start and stop, so you can deactivate this. It's actually quite annoying in a sports car. I get it, you want it for efficiency. In the rest of world cars, you could even actually order it without this PCM unit, and it just becomes like a huge cubby. I think I've showed it in the auto show video that I posted a few months ago. What a cool car. I love it. It's so sick. All right, guys, so now that we checked out the car at the dealership, I thought it'd be cool to build my own dream 911T. So right off the bat, I'm gonna go to Porsche.ca, so it takes me to the Canadian section. So obviously, depending on where you are in the world, you're gonna have completely different build specs, I'm assuming. Even different from the US, like Canada, I believe, is different from the US. But today, we're going to build our Porsche, and then we're going to build a 911, obviously. Roll down here, and we're gonna build our own 911 Carrera T, and as you guys can see, in Canadian dollars, it's like $116,500, which is pretty pricey. However, I think this is great value. Here we are on the builder. I don't think the 360 works for some reason with Apple, which is kind of weird. And yeah, it's showing error here, so let's hit this again. And I'm just gonna switch to 2D mode. That kind of sucks. Sorry guys, I thought we'd have a better view. So right off the bat, the 911T comes in these 4 standard colors. There's white, black, guards red, and racing yellow, and these are non-cost options. They also have metallic colors, Carrera white metallic, jet black metallic, which is the car that we saw at the dealership, and then a GT silver metallic, which is a beautiful color. I love this color. So, but these are all $820 options. I guess doesn't break the bank. And then they also have these 2 special colors here, Miami blue and then lava orange, but those are $3,500, $3,600 options. But for my car, I decided to spec it out as white. The reason for that is because this is such a raw sports car, I just thought that going with a regular white, Porsche's motorsport color, and Mercedes has silver, Porsche has white, all the cup cars are white, so I thought that was kind of a cool way to spec it out. So white it is, it's a zero, no cost option, so we're still at this $117,000, $118,000 here. After freight. Oh, that's classy. Little X's there, my bad. But basically the car can come with 2 different types of wheels. So there are these 20-inch Carrera S wheels that you guys see in a titanium gray, and those are standard. And then for an extra $1,500, you can upgrade to these fat 5-spoke. Oh, is this not going to change over? I'm telling you guys, Porsche, you know, I don't understand why you would not assume that a lot of your client base uses an Apple. I don't understand why this is not populating. But it's kind of annoying. Here, let's wait for it a little bit. Maybe if I go to the big view. Is this for real? Okay, I'm gonna refresh and then we'll go back to the same spot. Aha. Okay, so as you guys can see, there's the different wheel options. So these are, you know, the 5-spoke Carrera, and actually I drove a base Carrera that had these exact wheels. I'll post the video in the cards above, but I got so many comments on those wheels. They're actually quite cool, and especially painted in this titanium gray, I think is they look pretty sweet. However, I'm a big fan of just the regular wheels, and I'll tell you guys why. I just like to be able to, you know, have the calipers and the brake components be exposed. So that's essentially the thinking behind that. Also, just a note, so these wheels are titanium gray, and they're specifically titanium gray to match these gray mirrors up here. Also on the rear of the car, these grills here are also titanium gray. So it's just kind of like a matching detail, which is pretty sweet. So we're gonna keep these 20-inch Carrera S wheels in titanium gray. I think it looks pretty sweet. Okay, so moving along here, there's also wheel accessories. So let me go to the profile pic. So again, because of this whole color thing here, you can actually, for the tune of $800, you can have the wheels painted black. I think it looks cool on white. I always like that color combo, but I just feel like because the whole special edition has the graphics and the gray mirrors, I feel like you just have to keep the wheels gray to kind of keep it, you know, spec'd how it should be. So I'm just gonna keep them, save my $800. So now we're gonna move on to the interior. And before, you know, we talk about the interior colors and the material and stuff like that, right off the bat, the first thing I'm going to do is, again, I don't understand why these pictures are not popping up, but a thing I'm gonna do is select these carbon fiber bucket seats. And you know, something came up here. So we need to select the GT Sport steering wheel and gear lever in Alcantara in order to have the carbon buckets. I'm cool with that, so we're gonna accept these changes. And as you guys can see, so we've got this Alcantara Sport wheel, and then the buckets. I'm so sad that this doesn't have the 360 view, just to show you guys all around. But as you can see, the carbon buckets are there. They look awesome. And I can't show you the back, but with these selected, we actually eliminate the rear seats. So that's what it is. Another thing you guys will notice, this is just kind of a side note, but and I talked about this at the dealership, but here's an illustration of no PCM in the center dash. So that's that cubby I was talking about earlier. Okay, so now that we've selected those carbon seats, I'm gonna move back up here, and I already know that I really like this Carrera T interior package with the contrasting color guards red selection. So obviously with this, we need to select this $2,700 Carrera T interior package, which includes basically allows you to select that option. So it is what it is. So we're gonna accept these changes. So what does that give us? So on the car we saw at the dealership, all this stuff was yellow, but here we have guards red seat belts, you know, all the deviated stitching, you can kind of see it pop up. I'm just gonna make this bigger, but you can see all the stitching here all around, and then obviously the insignia on the carbon buckets with the 911. Let me go to the other view. But, and then of course the door pulls as well. So pretty sweet. And then looks like the T only comes with these kind of options. Okay, so we selected that. My total price at the moment is $127,500 Canadian. We're gonna move on to the individual packages and individual options here. So not interested. So this brings us back to these 18-way and like comfortable seats and stuff. I don't think this is the car for that. On the exterior, let's go back here. They've got a few options, and I thought they would have had more options. And I'm assuming that when you enter the exclusive manufacturer program, I think that has to be done at a dealership in their lounge to select all this stuff, because I don't see it coming up here. You know, we've got all these little custom things you can do. So there's a badge delete. Hopefully this will populate when I select it. Yeah, so, you know, it just leaves it as Porsche. This kind of looks cool to me. There's also the designation of just
911, and I wonder if that's gonna pop up. It might not now. But again, not interested. Because this is a special model, I feel like leaving the 911 Carrera T is important. Also, you know, you can delete the decorative side stripe here, but I would keep it just because it's a special model. Like, why would you, it's like having, it's just a special model. Like, why would you get rid of it? It's weird. Okay, then we're gonna get into the lighting. I believe these just come with standard xenon lights. I don't know if $4,000 is worth it, but check out these headlights that are the LED headlights that are blacked out. I think it's too much. It's almost like too much contrast there with the mirrors. And also $4,000, insane. I think I would just leave it with these dynamic light system. That's always cool to be safe. And what does that do exactly? Well, it cornering lights that like swivel the low beam. I think that's a good value. Cool, and they're actually kind of black, aren't they? Yeah, so I'd leave those as is. And then tinted taillights. I'm not sure I dig that exactly, but let's see what that looks like. Not happening. I don't even care. Porsche entry and drive. So this is basically like a lot of manufacturers have this where you have a key, it's a fob, you can keep it in your pocket, and car will open and you can start it as long as you're holding under the key. I would select this, but actually just a little tidbit, driving that base Carrera, I drove a 2018 base Carrera last fall, and I had the car for a few days, and I found that having this entry and drive was really finicky. It didn't really work that well. I always had to scramble to find the buttons to open the door, and the whole key, like BMW has it way better. I'm sorry to say that, but it's a pretty handy feature, so I'm just gonna keep this checked off. Rear wiper, nope. Power folding exterior mirrors, no, not on this car. Electric sunroof, no. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're back. Okay, so all these sport design packages and front fascia, these are different like aero packs. I think again, because this is a special model, you don't really want to do any of that. So in the front, they've got these like headlight cleaners, and in my opinion, leaving them in black is kind of cool, but you can paint them for like 400 bucks or 300 bucks. Yeah. Okay. And then there's a fuel cap with aluminum look finish. I would leave that as well. So yeah, so that's basically it. So let's jump into performance. So the car, as I was explaining at the dealership, comes in two ways. I think I would definitely stick with the manual transmission for this one. If I was tracking it, I think PDK would definitely be in the cards. I'm a huge fan of PDK. I love cars equipped with it. It's just such a fun gearbox to drive and to play with, and you know, people say that it's not very engaging. PDK's got it. It's still a lot of fun. I don't buy it when people say it's boring. So this is a good transmission, but I'm gonna keep mine a manual. Power steering plus, this is just like a power steering booster for lower speed turning. I would leave that for $300, save the $300. Front axle lift system. I do live in the city, and I think it would be important. For $3,000 though, I'm just gonna leave that. Rear axle steering, definitely. I think that's a useful feature for sure, for a more dynamic ride. Chrono package, inclusive of the Porsche Track Precision app, 370 bucks, that's pretty cool. And then on the interior, you know, you've got all these other like options like adaptive cruise control, lane change assist, all these like heavy, almost like driver intrusive aids. I would leave all that out. The light design package seems interesting, but again, like what do we really need that for? The smoking package, no. Seat ventilation doesn't apply. Luggage net, oh, it's free? Yes. Fire extinguisher. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then here we go. Here's all the funny stuff. So like air vents painted, vehicle key painted, and then there's instrument dials in that you can get in color. I would leave this off. Seatbelts in red we already have, so I would keep this as is. And then as far as the interior leather, I would not opt for any of this stuff. This is like, you know, the interior trim and all this kind of stuff that you don't really need, like sun visors and leather. I don't know, if you have a Turbo S maybe, but like not a car like this. Fuse box covers in leather. I don't know. So yeah, I would leave all that. Then there's also Alcantara options. So we already have this GT Sport steering wheel checked off. There's one for PDK. You can get the visors in Alcantara. Alcantara doesn't wear very nicely, so this is actually, having the Alcantara is a little bit, I'd have to get some driving gloves, I think. Interior aluminum, I would leave that as well. Oh, and then this, you can get personalized door sills or 1,200 bucks. This is kind of cool. I think I would do that. The audio, I guess I'd get like a Bose and then Euro delivery for sure. So that would basically be the car. Again, I really apologize that the 360 doesn't work. I'm like literally blown away, but this is what the car looks like. So white, it looks pretty sweet. And that's what mine, that's how I would spec mine out. It looks pretty cool with the red. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my spec. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out the one at the dealership as well. I'm hoping that maybe one day they'll throw me the keys for that to take it out on a drive and just to check it out and really give you guys a review and feedback on what it drives like. The car wasn't even plated yet today at the dealership, so taking it anywhere would have been impossible, but very exciting. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, comment, and like, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Take care.